Yo, it's Coco.
And this is
A Curvy Mindset.
Presented by Black Diary Love.
So let's get into this juicy, and I'm talking juice, wet, juice gossip today.
Okay.
Today we're talking about the dating game, and how it is for us.
Trash.
Yeah, it's definitely trash for us at the dating pool. But, we're also going to be talking about our relationships from hell and some other juicy secrets. So stay tuned. Okay? So let's get into the first question.
Let's go. Run it up.
What was your first time like? Yeah, I'm going there. Mariah, you go first.
My first time was
That's what we call it.
actually horrible.
What happened?
It was just so uneventful, so bland. I think it was filled with cat piss. I can't even remember. Like, it was that bad.
Why is cat piss there?
That was the equivalent. Like,
Damn it, Osha!
Yeah, I feel like cat piss is just like not good. So that compares to my first time, like cat piss. But my first kiss was exceptional, different person than my first time. Crazy, right? Anyways.
So this, you
It's
want to get a...
Like, why?
You might want to deep...
Right.
Dive
Girls,
into
stop being
Like, we
stingy.
can. One, I was too young to be trying to bend it over for anybody. I didn't even know what I was
That's
doing.
it.
I wasn't that young, but I was just too young. I didn't know what I was doing. Two, they didn't know what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of
not knowing what y'all doing.
not knowing what you're doing, and that can cause pain, uncomfortability, awkwardness. I learned how to fake moan. My first time ever having sex was quite awesome. I did a great job. I did a great job at the fake moan, not the sex.
Yeah, no.
What about you, Ash?
Well, I wouldn't say that I was pissed because it was not. Actually, I was just turning 18, and my gentleman, he was on the older side, so he's much more experienced. So it really wasn't so bad. He just wanted to do way more than my little body could understand what's happening. And I was like, what are we doing here?
What did he want to do?
Baby.
He was older, so he wanted to do it.
He was very much so experienced. Very much so touched every part of me.
Where did your leg go?
Everywhere. Y'all saw big girls couldn't twist and bend and press what?
Right, don't
It's a
fuck
whole,
with us.
whole lot.
He told me like a pretzel.
It's a whole lot.
Annie's.
But I would say I was juicy, like Miss Coco Goddess said, and it eased the pain and made it a little pleasurable. So yeah, and it was very memorable. My ladies decided to remember that twist and turn for a couple days.
Amen.
Ooh, ain't nothing like that first Charlie horse. Shit.
And Miss Coco Goddess, Miss Mom.
My first time was so cringe. It was with this guy. We're gonna call him Zeke. And I was finna turn 18. I remember the exact day. It was February on Super Bowl Sunday. And the boyfriend I was going with, Zeke, I went to his house. And we were just talking and chilling and watching movies. His mom brought us some food down. Everything was chill. It was winter time, so everything was chill. It was winter time, so it wasn't much we can go outside to do. So we watch a movie, we get to kissing and shit. He asked me, was I a virgin? I said, yeah. One thing led to another. Bagel opens up, the hot dog goes in, and then
You put hot dogs and bagels?
listen, I'm trying to give it, I'm trying not to be
The
so
visual.
okay, look, coochie, listen, don't don't make me get vulgar up on this.
He parked the limo in the garage.
Yeah, he parked the limo in the garage. And I ain't gonna lie, his limo may have been a Mini Cooper. Who knows? And while he was in there, I'm like, oh, people say this is supposed to hurt. This don't really hurt. Like, no. Because now that I'm sexually experienced, this nigga done got soft hella times. You know? And it's like he was distracted because his little sister kept coming up and down the stairs. And we had to... And then his mom kept calling him, so he had to go back upstairs how he looked when he went down the stairs the first time. So we had to put everything right back on. And then he started moaning some weird stuff in my ears. And it's like you could tell when a guy is trying to talk aggressive, but don't have the aggressive voice. Don't make me laugh. This is what he did. We was listening to the radio. I said, turn the radio up, because I ain't want to hear his ass talk no more.
Amen.
And so Fetty Wap came in, and he was like, oh, babe, Fetty Wap. I was like, what? Why are you calling Fetty Wap? You should be calling her my wrong name. And then I was like, okay, maybe he didn't mean to say it. And then he kept saying, you like that? Do you like it? And I was like, it's the way he said it. And I was like, I don't think I like it. And I lied. I said, oh, your sister, your mama called you. Your mama called you. We got to go. He goes, hey, I'm almost done. And bruh, this was my first reaction to a guy's ejaculation sound. I couldn't keep it in. There was no way for me to keep it in. He hit me with one of those, oh! Like, literally, I can't do it for real. That's exactly how it sounded. He said, oh! And then he just shook. And then he just dropped. And I was like, what in the Mariah Carey high note is this? Because the nigga hit a high note.
Oh, Jesus.
And his mom asked us, what's all that noise? That's your son. That wasn't me. Your son down there sounding like fucking Frankie Lyman and shit.
Oh, well, not Frankie.
Yes. I was like, that's all, bye. Because, no. I couldn't do it.
God.
And then my friend's going to text me, oh my God, was it great? I'm over here. No. Not at all. I could have saved this shit till I was like 30, like I've been planned, you know. But yeah, other than that, but anyway, you know. So, what is your do's and don'ts during sex, though? Ash, you start.
You don't want me to start.
Yes, I do.
Eyes are watering.
Yeah.
You don't want me to start.
What's your do's and your don'ts? Give me 2 do's and 2 don'ts from both y'all. 2 do's and 2 don'ts.
I do, and I do. I do it all.
Straight like that.
I like to please me, and I like to please him. So at the end of the day, we all won't be satisfied. So I do it all. I'm older, so I've already tried to say, oh, I don't want to do this. And I had to realize that I was depriving myself, because if they're not happy or if they're not pleased, I'm not going to be happy. I like to hear their moans. I like to hear their screams. I like to hear all that. So yes, I want to be pleased in all of that. So yes, we're going to do it all.
That could be taking me there like, bitch.
No.
Yeah, I'm your mama now, ho.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm your mama now, ho.
I don't want to be the mama.
I'm your mama now, bitch.
Well, for me, I would have to say a huge portion of having do's and don'ts comes with if we're sexually compatible or not. If I'm not sexually compatible with you, we're probably not going to continue having sex. But if I am sexually compatible with you, I don't really know the word no. I'm very submissive, and I'm also a giver more than I'm a taker sexually. So, I mean, it's just whatever, however you want to play it. You know. flip me around like a pancake, tie me up like a turkey. Please, please.
Said, not a Waffle House. Waffle at Waffle House.
Sometimes a couple little light smacks on the face was like, oh, who you got that bitch?
We got light smacking over here.
Like a little yeah. Anyways, I don't have a lot of don'ts. But I am sexually compatible with the person. I'm very slut me out. Should I say?
Yeah, I'm feeling those vibes.
Y'all would think I like peaches and rainbows and stuff, but no, I'm into that degrading shit. I like to degrade men. I kind of like it when they call me a bitch or like whatever.
Definitely do that.
Like definitely.
Like a little nasty bitch, yeah.
Slut. I'm a fucking. You
You
said I'm your slut.
words.
You said I'm your cum bucket. Is that what you said?
Nasty.
Okay.
Yes.
One guy said you my cum demon. Bitch, I had to stop him. Bitch, I am an angel. I am an angel.
No,
I am not no cum demon. Shout out to you, Stallion. Hey, Vitty.
We get shout outs.
Yeah. His name gonna be Stallion. But please do not. Me personally, I don't want nobody kind of. I ain't met the right person to go on that back end. So I'm
tell you,
a,
when you be that person, baby. Okay.
let me tell you, I just don't believe. I don't want to give that just shit. I gave my coochie up. I don't want to give my ass genity just out anywhere. I ain't leave my ass genity.
But on a serious note, though, that is facts because I was in a 5-year relationship where my partner tried to get me to try anal. And for me, it just never worked with him. Like, we had great sex, but when we tried anal, it was just, no, stop right here. I think I'm going to do number 2 on you. Like, it just was uncomfortable. But then, the guy that I ended up doing it with for the first time, I mean, I wasn't even thinking about it. I really just turned over and said, stick it in a different hole, and it went, and it was great. And then, you want, if it's great, you're going to want it again.
Yeah.
And again, and more often.
Okay, my first time with that it was like a give or take. Like some days it would be awesome, and some days it'd be like, no.
I'm not feeling it.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I say definitely be mindful of who and what you do it because you want to be in the right state of mind when you're doing those type of things. When
make sure
you're
you're
being
trained.
that vulnerable in that state of mind.
Yeah, the comfortability level has to be insane between you and that person.
Yeah.
Because if it's not and you can think you're so comfortable with them, but if you're not truly comfortable, your body is not going to relax in a way that it needs to for it to even get where it needs to go, for it to be any type of pleasurable. It will be painful. Yeah.
Basically saying, all the guys that I fucked, I do not trust none of you whores.
Wow.
Because ain't none of y'all motherfuckers backdoor me. Fuck out of here with that.
Wow.
And please,
I don't know.
I like hair pulling. Hair pulling is awesome. Please, would y'all rather hair pulling or choking?
Both at the same time.
All the
You
above.
pull the hair.
But if you had to choose only one, would you rather get your hair pulled or just choke?
I was taught that I can have whatever I want in life, so I don't ever make a choice. I want them both. I get them both.
Yeah.
Girl, you gotta choose one. Damn.
I'll say choking for me.
Okay, yeah. Just choking is
Which is weird because you would think from past traumas that would be something I don't want, but the partner that I'm with currently makes it feel so much more of a submissive. I trust you. I trust what you're doing. I trust the things that you're doing to me, and it makes it so enjoyable.
Okay.
I
Period. I fucks with that. I'm gonna say choking. Choke me. Cut off my air supply, daddy.
And I still want both of them.
Okay. I'm not gonna have both of them. You just said she's not gonna chop and screw. Just give me all.
Fuck pulling my hair because if it's fresh braids, nigga, I'm gonna beat your ass.
But see, I've had my hair pulled. Okay. I've had clip-ins in. I love clip-ins, and I had my hair pulled so hard once that it kind of sounded like my hair was coming out. And I don't know, it made me so much hornier.
Oh my God.
Like I was just like, oh shit, you're ripping my hair out. Like, yeah.
I like when they choke me, but then they just talk like they bring you closer to they mouth, and then it's like you can hear the breath coming out their mouth, and everything they utter is just sexy. And Stallion, he got a voice on him.
Okay, Stallion.
I think Stallion got a voice. He be like, yeah, you look, I'm like, yeah, nigga, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had a flashback.
As y'all can see, we can go down the rabbit hole on this one.
Wow.
But I want to ask you guys a question.
Okay.
When you think back to your first love, do you believe that was true love, puppy love, or do you believe that that was really one of your first real heartbeats?
For me, I think my first love, I don't think I know. It definitely was true love. At a certain level, it wasn't like an everlasting love per se. Like obviously we're not together to this point. But I did love him deeply at the time. He loved me deeply. He taught me how to be loved. But on the flip side of those things, he also taught me how to know what I never want to experience again at the same time. So I definitely think for me, my first love was a real love, for sure.
I would say my first love came from somebody I considered to be a best friend to me. And that's how it started. It was really like a very much so genuine care for each other. So I think that's why I still have, a compassionate love for the person. Like I still have compassionate love for the person. Like he's married and everything right now, and I love that for him. I love to see the happiness. I love to see his little girl growing up. I love that. And I think that's why I can believe that it was a first true love. Now, as an adult, I would say there's different types of true love. Like you feel the difference in what you're in. And I think back then it was a little bit of puppy love, but at the same time there was a friendship there, a really genuine bond. And now as I'm older, I have a more like a trusting, protective, like you truly know how to feed into me, and it makes me want to feed back, wholeheartedly back into that person. I want to see the best in every aspect of their life, in everything that they do, and everything that they are. So I think there's just a little difference, but it still shows in the love aspect.
I definitely get that. I'm not gonna. I did love some guy named B at one point, genuinely, but he taught me love can hurt, and love isn't always peaches and roses. Like, man, because I was so in love with that guy. I didn't see nothing but B, nothing but him. And then when we broke up, literally 3 months on my mom's couch, I was just like this, literally with my back towards this, pretending like he was hugging me again, crying my eyes out. It was the worst thing I could ever experience. I was like, oh my gosh. But I mean, I haven't gave up on love. I just wouldn't call him my first love, because if that's what love was supposed to be, I don't think I found it yet. But it's Stallion, Daddy. If you want to be mine, just say that, baby.
Next question.
Right. Say that.
But what I will say is, now that we're on the topic of love, would you say that it takes for you to understand what a true love looks like? Would you say that with inside yourself now, the you that you know now, I mean, Coco just said maybe she hasn't found it, but do you know what that would look like to you once you found it? Now that you know who you are, or that you're coming into the you that you are, do you feel like that you would be able to spot that true love?
I say yes, you know, something y'all get to know about me later on in the season, but I am a spiritual advisor, and I like to, you know, I don't even like to sometimes because I just can't help it, but I can pick up on different energies, and I know, and I have certain hunches when things are taboo and when things are real. So from me experiencing that love, that little piece of love, you know, because with love comes heartbreak. It has to, you know. With him, with B, yes, there was love there. One, love should not be one-sided.
Yeah.
And if you truly love somebody, you'll really stick it out to the end with that person. You're gonna know, yeah, it's not gonna be peaches and roses all the fucking time, but you get on my fucking nerves, but I fucking love you, and I'm always gonna be here for you, and I'm always gonna actually take care of you if needed, you know, and to know that that person would never do that for me, and, you know, would never love me in that way like I did, like I was willing to love him, you know, I feel like, no, I haven't seen that type of love yet. Will I know it when I see it? Yes, because love endures. Love will actually weather the storm instead of just running away like a little bit anyway. I'm just saying, love endures. So, yes, I feel like I would know. Stallion, by the way, if you really want to be with me, just say so.
Mariah,
can you repeat that?
do you believe that the you now would understand what that love looks like if it was to walk into your life right now?
Yes and no, all at the same time, because even for example, my last relationship, I loved him deeply, but growing up, you hear a lot of like, love is unconditional, love is unconditional, love is unconditional, and for me, respectfully, love is conditional. Not saying like, oh, you do this, I'm immediately out the door, you do this, I'm immediately out the door, but how long can you endure things that are not good for you? Maybe they're not a horrible human being, but maybe they're not bringing health into your life, and they're not bringing joy and peace back into your life. They're more so sucking your energy and sucking the love that you have to give and what you have to offer out of you.
Stealing your light.
Yes, stealing your light. Yes, my last relationship, I felt like my light was taken from me. Although I loved a person so much, and he did love me, and so he did so much to show me like, okay, I can acknowledge and recognize what love is, but at the same time, I still question, like, can I fully recognize it once it comes? Because pieces of me were taken by somebody who loved me so deeply, or would love me to the end of time. He would have married me, would have went through the ends of earth, enduring what we were going through, but on the flip side, he didn't feel how I felt about myself. He felt great about himself, while I felt like a piece of crap every day, or an object, a token that somebody could put up on the shelf and say, I got this one, she's all mine. So it's a yes and no for me, for sure.
In saying that, and saying all of what you guys said, acting, or disliking or liking things, and you have to be able to love them for what they are. You have to see people where they're at and be able to love that part of them and be able to grow and understand when it's a good fit for you or when it's not a good fit for you. And that doesn't mean you don't love that person. It just means that at that time you just didn't mesh, and it wasn't that time. It wasn't that appropriate time for you guys to be together or to connect, and that you had some elevating to do within self to be able to get to the point where you can actually give that unconditional, full fortitude of who you are.
Yeah, I can agree with that, because for me, like, I acknowledge my last relationship a lot, but for me, it wasn't like I needed to control all of him, but it was a sense of, the longer we were together, the more I saw that he is not truly, like, just naturally compatible with who I am as a woman. I look more at compatibility, even if that's, we're compromising, we are figuring out, okay, we're different in these ways, how can we merge them and make it work? And then that in turn turns into true love, But if you can't get to that level, or if you can't, like I said before, endure and still feel like you have a sense of self, then for me, that's why I say no, because I haven't been able to experience something yet where I love a person and they love me, but I don't lose myself. Oftentimes I lose myself in love because I give so much of myself, and then I feel like when I ask for something in return, everything just blows up in my face. Like, oh no, how dare you expect this, or how dare you feel like you're entitled to this. So it's just, for me, I think I'd have to keep dabbling in the waters, you know. I'll love one day. Somebody will love me the way I love, and I will love somebody the way they need to be loved. And we'll be able to, you know, be compatible. And I think love is also about sometimes, like I said, just finding those compromises, and you're not always compatible with the person. I feel like people have these natural things that draw them to each other. They're naturally drawn by chemistry, not compatibility. The compatibility is worked on. And if both partners aren't on the same length or level, like you were saying, in their life or in their journey, then it's hard to build that compatibility, because one person could be building from this stage and one person could be building from this stage, and it's kind of like a huge tug and pull, and it does take a lot of effort.
Last question before we wrap up this segment. What is it to take accountability to you? What does that look like to you? And do you think that when you start to take accountability for yourself and your own actions, do you then be able to have a real, true, open-hearted relationship? I want to start with that because in my last week, well, not my last, but my previous relationship, or my relationship now, I find that I had to really pull back and realize that I had my own flaws, I had my own traumas, I had my own life issues, I had my own hiccups that I needed to really pull in and work on me to be a true, genuine, unconditional love for another person. And when I started to really dive deep into my traumas, and you know, he helped pull those things up out of me, it hurt, but it hurt because I realized that I actually had these things to work on. And that is why I consider it to be a true love, because when somebody can help you build on top of what you already have and show you, here's what you need to be accountable for, I don't think that's a dig. I think that's more like, I love you enough to be able to put the mirror up for you and say, look at this mirror. This is a channel that you need to tap into and kind of feed off of. And once you can feed off of that, then you can show me the same, you know. And I feel like a lot of people take that for granted, and they instantly feel like when somebody's putting up that mirror for them, that they're digging at me, or they're talking about me, or they're putting me down, but they're not. They're trying to help you build to be the better person with inside self. And that's what accountability looks like to me. Finding that person that can help you pull that out of you and actually feed into you and pour into you just like you want to pour into them.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I feel like accountability to me is one, knowing that not everything is the opposite partner's fault. You know, you pointing the finger, but you got three pointing back at you. You know, it's always important to realize where you were wrong at in any argument. You know, everybody shouldn't take for granted the whole, why don't we come back to this and talk it out later, just to come back and yell again. What were you taking a break for? You know? And I think accountability is couples allowing the partner to speak, you know, and get some things off their chest, you know, because, you know, it's like, over here, you yelling, I'm yelling, that means neither of us is listening to what the next person is saying. Shout out to Neo. Anyway, you know, like, you know, I just feel like accountability is actually having the mindset and the willpower to let your partner say how you make them feel, whether it's good or bad.
Exactly.
Because that's why people cut them off. They're like, no. Listen to your partner. If he feels like you're being a bitch, you're being a bitch. If you feel like he's being an ass, he's being a fucking jackass. You know, and it's nothing wrong with that. But call each other out on it and nip it in the bud. Don't just hold it in. You know, I tell my friends this all the time, you know, because they be asking me, how do, you know, I don't talk to multiple guys, but I let guys know, hey, I'm conversating with other men. You know, it's let the best nigga win, you know, at this point with me. I'm not wasting a body no more, and I'm not wasting my time on somebody who is mindless and small, simple-minded.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I feel like y'all should just go ahead and also take accountability of the things that you need to change as a woman.
Yeah.
You know, it's lots of things that we need to change. Could we have handled that situation like that? We could have handled it better.
Right.
You know, but we don't think of that till after the math.
Right. It's like our title of this show is it him or is it you?
Exactly.
You know, you have to really pull back. Perception is reality.
Exactly.
And sometimes you're being perceived as something and you have to be able to have those hard conversations. I realize that dating multiple people, that's when you really find that you guys have those real hardcore conversations because you have multiple people that can see from the outside looking in. And then they bring it to the forefront and they say, look, we got to work on this looks crazy, you talking crazy, this, you know what I mean? And then you can really have that deep down, full conversation and pull all of that type of energy out. And it helps keep you leveled. It helps keep you on the same page because when somebody's here and somebody's down here because they didn't speak about it, then it ends up being a regrettable moment. And you don't want regrets, especially not in a relationship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree completely. I know for me, in a few of my past relationships, it's been men who are not willing to be vulnerable until it's not necessarily too late, but close to too late. Until the issue can no longer be resolved. They feel how they feel and they felt how they felt for however long by now. So by the time it's brought to me, it's not much I can do, but try to like pick up all of these pieces. Like, oh dang, why didn't you grow with each other versus against each other? I love to take accountability. If I did it, I did it. If I hurt your feelings, even if I didn't feel like I did or I didn't mean to, okay, it is what it is. How can I fix it?
Right.
But there's something to be said about just that base level of like how I was speaking about before, compatibility building and building that compatibility with another person. I think that makes it a lot easier for the receptiveness to be there during those arguments, for both partners to take accountability, because women, we like to think we're right and we're this high figure, but sometimes we're not, and we are emotional, so sometimes our feelings, I know for me, do come from emotion versus logic. So that's why I'm always going to record, like, if I need to, record it so I can hear.
And I like what you said about that. Women, what I really want you to take time to do is realize that sometimes it's better to sit and just listen. Don't react. Don't let your emotion get involved. Listen to what is being said, because 9 times out of 10, your reaction is because you actually feel like the word that is coming your way is true. You're acting out of emotion because you feel like you're being, like I said, attacked, or there's something going on that you really feel deep down inside of you that is the issue. So you have to kind of just listen, woosah in that moment, let it go ahead and listen to all the words coming out, and then sit down and just take that in and reflect on that. Listen to the real words and reflect on the words that are coming out of their mouth, because then you might find out what really triggered you.
And please don't go below the belt in an argument. You ain't gotta call his mama Snaggletooth. You ain't even gotta do all that.
That's not.
You ain't gotta say you're his dad, that's why your daddy ain't got no kneecap. That's not right.
The worst thing you can do is attack somebody
or they child
in the midst, because we want to hurt.
Don't attack nobody's child saying, oh, that's why your son got a peanut head. Don't nobody care. That does not justify your arguments.
Now that you mentioned kids, I haven't talked about nobody like kid being Snaggletooth, But I've noticed, like, I've gotten an argument with a person I dated who did have a child, and something that they ended up calling me a dumb bitch because I believe, to me, I'm stating facts. I observe, and I'm like, okay, one thing that made me walk away from you is your priorities. To me, priorities were fucked up. You put me up here, and your child is right here. But I want your child to be here first and foremost. Me, that should never come before your child. And in telling this person that they heard, you know, like, I'm a bad parent, I'm a horrible father, and now I'm a dumb bitch, and then I showed them what a dumb bitch was. Don't react. Like, I have an issue sometimes with reacting. You call me certain things, they do, like, the dumb bitch things, those, I found that those are some triggers for me. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just a dumb bitch. I am worth nothing. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, let me show you what that would really look like. Because a dumb bitch would have never done all of this. A dumb bitch would have never tried to have this conversation with you. We would have never tried to fix it. So since I'm that now, let's just flip all this shit upside down and make the world topsy-turvy, which is also not good. It did bring stress to me. It did bring a lot of extra in my life, a lot of extra anger, toxicity.
Yes, ladies, try to very much so not react out of anger. Try to not attack, because we do that a lot. The moment we're hurt, we want to hurt back, and we don't. We go for the gut.
And don't let her have some friends that's gonna talk shit too.
We go for the jugular, and we're always gonna find
that's why your glasses was ugly.
We're always gonna find that partner, that girlfriend that's gonna vibe with us and be like, "Oh yeah, you was right.
I got a bet. Let's go pull up."
Not right all the time. And
I got some knives.
Your best friend ain't gonna be there in them lonely nights when that argument turned crazy, but you really sit back and think about it and be like, "Oh, I could have been a problem." So really take time. We all, and that's for the men too. It's not just for women. Everyone. It's time to take accountability and time to really reflect. When you're in a relationship, if that relationship you value in any way, shape, or form, it's time to work on you so that you can work on y'all. And once you do that, everything, all the chips will fall into place, or you'll realize the red flags and you'll actually exit stage left instead of staying somewhere that you don't want to be, or interrupting something that you could have really had for a lifetime.
Yeah, because you're doing wrong by yourself by staying in something that hurts you and continues to hurt you. If the sign says get the fuck out, then get the fuck out. Don't just say, oh, well, maybe he'll change. You can't make nobody change into nothing. Only the big man upstairs can do that. And he can do that with a snap of a finger. Yeah. You think a couple words is going to change a guy and a little bit of pussy. I'm sorry. No, it's a lot deeper than that. You got to go deeper than that. In order to go deeper than that, you got to see what nigga is willing to go down the rabbit hole with you. Because not all guys, look, they trying to see what's under your dress, but they're not trying to go under that rabbit hole with you. So,
and remember, love is not the only thing that you need in a relationship.
Sex ain't the only thing either.
And sex is lust.
You ain't missing out if you're a virgin. If you're a virgin, you ain't missing out on shit.
To tag on to what you said, not only if you're in the relationship and you want to fix it, but if you want to leave it. I don't regret leaving my last relationship. I regret letting someone that I knew wasn't good for me, one, keep me longer than I should have stayed, and two, pull me out of my character. Because like I said, once I got called a certain name, I stepped completely outside of my character. This nice person you guys see on this camera was not who I was behaving as, and I don't regret leaving. I regret the behavior. Because now that person also has power still to go walk around and say, well, this is how she acted when she left, this is what she did, and make it seem like everything was just so one-sided, or so, oh, she was just crazy and angry, she had an anger problem, which I didn't. I had real reasons to leave. It didn't work for me. We weren't ever gonna be on the same page. Our priorities were different, but the reaction I gave him and the power I gave him once he called me out of my name, that left everything in his hands. That made him look like such a better human being, and it made me feel worse. Like, that's the one regret I do have. So it's not just when you're staying in a relationship, but if you're leaving it as well, try your best to leave it with peace, leave it on a good note. And if you can't leave it on a good note, if somebody is attacking you, calling you names, learn how to do a woo-sa, a count to 10. I wish I would have counted to 50. Because, like, woo-sa, that would be the best thing for you, is knowing you walked away with your peace.
Right.
Versus I walked away in shambles.
Also, don't be shy to talk to guys or girls either. Getting into one, too.
Yeah.
You know, never be shy. Always be yourself. Never show a facade.
Yeah.
You show a facade.
Yes.
Women, we have intuition. Men, anyways, we just...
Sounds like another conversation.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself, okay?
What you come as, what you present yourself as, is what's going to be expected of you. You're going to be expected to uphold the person that they met you as.
Right.
And if anything changes, especially if it changes drastically, nobody can guarantee that same person is still going to want to be with you.
Right.
Because they're seeing a whole different person that they may not have ever went on a first or second date with had they knew that person to begin with.
No,
So definitely be yourself. Don't waste nobody's time. Don't waste your own time. Life is too short.
Life is way too short, okay?
Yeah.
And have fun.
Everybody, we appreciate you
years.
coming in and having this kind of conversation with us. We had a little spice, we had a little something nice, and we had a little deep educational moment. So understand that you have to take accountability. You have to figure out if it's him or if it's you. And most of the time, ladies and gentlemen, it's you.
Yeah. And if I can add one thing, it's have a journal, have a diary. I know as adults, people are like, oh, what do I need a diary? What do I need a journal? You need to journal. I try to journal at least once a day because things are happening in your day, and sometimes when you're in the moment, you can't see what's happening, or you can't listen. I think you said listen to your partner fully. But if you're going and writing things down or making a quick recording, you can always go back and reflect on that. And when you reflect, you should reflect with an open heart and an open mind, not just reflecting to look for the ways that you were right or the ways that they were wrong, but to look for the ways that you can learn and you can be better. All relationships, whether friendships, family, or dating, of course, is about learning how you can improve yourself while improving another person or helping another person improve themselves. So yeah, definitely journal, meditate, record, do whatever you got to do to be able to reflect back later and make sure that you're always growing.
Yep. Okay.
And that is the end of today's episode of A Curvy Mindset.